Hey guys, it's Chris back again, and finally I'm about to do my big pickups video. And today we have 17 games, so I kind of went nuts, but it has been about 2 months that I've been collecting. So we will start with the newest games first, and then we'll go back to the oldest ones. So first one is this game, which is a very nice game. That is Fist of the North Star, Lost Paradise. And this is the reverse cover art, which I really like. The black and white with the red dress. It's very cool looking. I have not actually played this too much yet, but I did play the demo, so I know it's good. But I just been waiting to get into it. I've been so busy working out. It did kind of come with a cool extra, these stickers, as you can see, but they're just kind of like stuffed inside the sleeve here. But yeah, it's basically, the Fist of the North Star anime manga as a Yakuza style game. It's made by the Yakuza developers. So yes, that's very cool. Next up, one that just came out, is a pretty big hit. That is Red Dead Redemption 2, the special edition here. It comes with a map. Here, I'll show you the contents and some single player content, which honestly isn't worth it if you paid full price for this, but I used the Best Buy GCU discount. The strange thing is with this included map, I thought this map was exclusive to the special edition, and that's why I bought it. Well, one of the reasons, and you can see it's pretty big. So yeah, but then if you look inside the game itself, and by the way, it is 2 discs, so that's good. I was worried it'd be like a 50 gig mandatory download or something. But yeah, it is 2 discs with a play disc. But inside here, well, you got your DLC obviously, which I've already redeemed. Then there's another map. And I'm pretty sure this is the exact same map pretty much. Okay, I guess it's a little different, but it's okay, so you said the special edition, the big extra, was getting a map, and there's already a map in it anyways. Granted, this map kind of feels like thin paper, and this one's a bit thicker paper, and it's bigger, but yeah, comes with a map either way, so you don't need the special edition to get a map with it. Okay, so that's all for PS4. And then we got this game, Luigi's Mansion on 3DS. I never owned this on GameCube. It was on my wish list for GameCube, but since it came out on 3DS, I figured I'd just get it here. But the GameCube version does have some things better, like the graphics. But other than that, this one's got a lot of extras. So played a bit of it, probably about 3 or 4 hours, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. I also have Dark Moon, which is the sequel, but supposedly this is the better one. I'm not too sure yet because I haven't played them extensively. But yeah, okay. So next up, we got some Switch games, and I will do them in alphabetical order. There's a lot of my pickups were Switch games and PS2 games. So starting off, got this game when I was waiting for Mega Man 11 to come out. Azure Striker Gunvolt, or Gunvolt. I always say Gunvolt or Gunbolt, but it's Gunvolt. But this is a collection of Gunvolt 1 and 2, which I believe were 3DS games. But I think they fixed up some gameplay mechanics. It says it was upgraded to 60 frames, so I guess it was 30 frames on 3DS. It's got all the DLC, HD Rumble support. I believe it has 2 different languages for the first game, whereas on 3DS I think you had to download the other language, but this one has a patch as well, so that might be what's in the patch. But yeah, it does have all the DLC on the cart, which is nice. But yeah, it's made by the Mega Man Zero developers, and they are very good at Mega Man style games, obviously. And this is very fast paced, very nice art. Even though it's kind of 3DS quality 2D art, still looks nice on the Switch. So it's a really nice game. I need to play a bit more. I think I played maybe 2 or 3 hours of this so far. It's very flashy, very nice. Only thing is, like, there's a lot of like dialogue on the screen if you keep Japanese on, because you need the subtitles. Whereas in the Japanese version, there's no subtitles because obviously they don't need it. But yeah, they're like constantly talking if you have the Japanese language on, so the screen is constantly filled with subtitles, and it kind of gets in the way a little bit. But anyways, here's one that was long delayed on Switch. That is Dark Souls Remastered. Although I'm not sure why they call it remastered, because it's basically the PS3 version, but in 900p to 1080p docked and 720p handheld. But it does have all the DLC on the cart. And there was supposedly some sound compression, but I tried to listen for it and I couldn't discern it. I'm sure it's there, but it's enjoyable for me. I wanted to be able to play Dark Souls on a portable, and it's nice playing this in bed. But I've played Dark Souls so many times. I think I beat it 2 or 3 times now. So it is kind of old hat at this point, but it is very cool to see it on a handheld. So yeah, Dark Souls, it's decent. I guess some of the downgrades would make it like a 8 out of 10 instead of a 9 out of 10, but oh well. Next up, one I mentioned before, Mega Man 11. This was kind of annoying. Like the first one I got, the cover was kind of slipping out of the case, so they shrink wrapped over it, and the cover was all ripped because they shrink wrapped over it and like ripped it. So I had to send it back and wait like I think a week to get my proper copy. But it's a very good game. The graphics look a little worse on Switch compared to the PS4 version. Obviously, Pro I think is probably near 4K, but well, maybe it's 1440p. But this is 1080p with no anti-aliasing, so you do see a little bit of jagged edges. But it looks very nice if you play it portable. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's very tough. I'm taking it one stage at a time, trying to learn one stage at a time. I've only beaten 2 stages right now, so still working on this. Very good, though. Very well done Mega Man game, just bringing back the series. They did a good job. And then here's a limited run game that I'm kind of glad came out, and that's Night Trap! Watch out behind you, Night Trap! I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but I'm sure Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe can give me the full lyrics. But yeah, I already have this on PS4, but I wanted to have it on the Switch because how often do you get a full motion video game on a handheld console? Not too often. There's been a few, but this is the classic Night Trap that kind of started it all. And the thing I like about the Switch releases on limited run games is the fact that they use the pre-order system, so you don't have to like scramble to get a copy before they sell out. You can just pre-order it and that's it. So that's the deal with this one. And luckily though, tomorrow Double Switch on PS4 goes on sale. And for the regular edition, they are doing pre-orders now for PS4 games. So you can pre-order Double Switch on PS4, no problem. But the collector's edition for it is still limited to, I think, 2,000 copies. I was considering getting the collector's edition or trying to go for it, and then if I didn't win it, I'll just pre-order the regular edition. But now I'm not sure. I might not even try to go for the collector's edition because, I don't know, I don't need all those extras. I just want the game. But honestly, I wish they would bring Double Switch to Nintendo Switch as well, so hopefully they make that happen. I'd rather just buy that version alone, but I'll buy it on PS4 just in case it never comes to Switch. But as far as Night Trap, it's the exact same game as PS4. The PS4 version needed some patches. I can't remember. This might have had a patch, but it's probably more up to date on the cart than the PS4 version. Unfortunately, they used some sort of weird compression on the video, even though both games are the same size. But for some reason on Switch, the compression just looks a little bit worse. It almost looks 3DO quality instead of the PS4 quality, which is, kind of like upscaled 480p. But I don't know. It looks okay on the handheld mode. But yeah, it's kind of a novelty game to have anyway, so who really cares? But alright, last Switch game. This is an expansion pack to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And that's Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Torna, the Golden Country. This is kind of I believe it's like 25 or 30 hour story. And they put it on an actual physical cart, which is nice. But it also included a voucher code to download the season pass for Xenoblade Chronicles. So it's a bit unfortunate that the season pass never got a physical release. But as far as I know, I do know that the season pass integrates with the main game, so they would probably have to reprint another cartridge for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So still, it's nice to have the expansion on a cart at least. So I had to jump on it. I think this was $30 or $40, but obviously I got it with the GCU Best Buy discount. While I still have it, I only have Best Buy GCU until I think January 14th. So before then, I have to pre-order all the games that I'm planning to get this in 2019. But the only annoying thing is they temporarily take money out of your account when you pre-order. So I'm going to have to pre-order like probably 10 games or so. So hopefully it doesn't like fuck up my bank account or something. But maybe I'll just have to pre-order 2 at a time over the next couple months. So we'll see. It's kind of an annoying thing that they take the money out right away when you pre-order, but it's too bad Best Buy GCU is going away. After that, I'm just going to have to wait for games to go down in price. But honestly, after this generation, I'm done gaming anyways, or at least buying new games. So yeah. But anyways, here's the last stretch of games. We're going back to the PS2 generation. I think that's 6th gen. Start with PS2, and we got this game, the PS2 port of Half-Life 1. And I rented this back in the day, I remember, and I liked it quite a bit, but I had always had the PC version of Half-Life 1, so I didn't want to pay for it back then. But nowadays, I was thinking, I want a console version of Half-Life 1, and this is actually really well done. It has improved models, which eventually came over to PC. It includes the Blue Shift expansion on the disc, and I forget, it has some redone weapon models as well, and it even has mouse and keyboard support on the PS2, which I did test out, and you can just plug a USB mouse and keyboard into your PS2. So yeah, it's really well done. So it's a nice physical version to have of this game. Alright, and I found this at Goodwill, Headhunter for Dreamcast. Now the funny thing about this is I'm pretty sure I had played this on a demo disc, that or a burn disc on Dreamcast, and I always had some interest in the game, but I never wanted to buy it. But then I find out that this PS2 version is the only one that actually came to the US. I didn't know that the Dreamcast version of Headhunter was European and I think Japanese exclusive maybe. But yeah, I mean the PS2 version is good. I believe it has a lot of fixes with a lot of the glitches, but the graphics are a little bit worse. The shadows on the characters used to be kind of dynamic looking, but on this they're just kind of circles under the characters. Other than that, the textures look, I think, a little worse on PS2. That's usually the case with Dreamcast ports on the PS2. But other than that, it's pretty serviceable, and it's a nice version because it fixes a lot of the weird glitches that Dreamcast had. I think I looked it up, and there's issues with the Dreamcast, like being able to go through walls and crashing issues, stuff like that. But overall, it's a cool game. I mean, it's like an adventure game. It almost reminds me a bit of No More Heroes, with the way you, I don't know if you can see that on the back, but he's driving a motorcycle. So you drive a motorcycle around the city, doing these missions in the various buildings in the city. And yeah, No More Heroes is kind of like that. You drive around and you stop and you do a mission, and you drive a motorcycle in that as well. Um, but yeah, once you're in the actual missions, it almost reminds me a little bit of like Splinter Cell mixed with Resident Evil, because it has a lot of like puzzles, Resident Evil style puzzles, and some pre-rendered angles. So you do fight guys and you do stealth kills and stuff like that, but you have to kind of wander around, find items, solve puzzles, stuff like that. So it's a weird mashup of games. It's cyberpunk kind of story. Near future, it seems like there's no actual ballistic guns. Instead, you shoot like bullets that attack their neural system or whatever. So it's not like a gory shooter, but it's an interesting game nonetheless. Kind of a hidden gem, I'd say. So let's move on. Found this at Goodwill as well. Not really something I was super looking for. I am a Jet Li movie fan, but I did rent this game back in the day, and it's not that great. I played it again for an hour after I bought it, and yeah, it's average. It's a Jet Li game at least. So I guess I could pop this in after I watch a Jet Li movie if I feel like playing a Jet Li game. But other than that, it's a pretty weak, like, I don't know, Max Payne / Kung Fu style game. So, whatever. But it was cheap. I think it was like $3 or $4. Another one I found at Goodwill, that is Medal of Honor Vanguard. And I believe this one is a PS2 exclusive. Might be on one other console, but I'm pretty sure it's just on PS2 and maybe PSP. I'm not sure, but yeah. I like the World War II Medal of Honor games, the ones made by, I believe it's from the PS1 developers of Medal of Honor. So, yeah, it's probably, not the greatest game, but I played a little bit of it, and it's okay. I believe this was a response to the next-gen version with all the paratroopers. So it kind of has the same gameplay where you parachute in, but obviously it's dumbed down for PS2 technology. But yeah, it's cool. I think I got almost every Medal of Honor game at this point, other than the newest one, and I think I need box copies of the Allied Assault and all those on PC. But here's another PC port, speaking of PC, that is Quake 3 Arena. Now, I had no plans of getting this, but I've been playing Quake Champions with a buddy of mine, and I was thinking, man, I really want to play some Quake 3 again. So I boot up my Dreamcast copy, and it's still pretty clunky with the Dreamcast controller. And then I looked into it, and I realized there was all the, what is it called? Not Team Fortress, but whatever, the team expansion for Quake 3 is included on this version. So this is actually the most complete like console physical copy of Quake 3. The only unfortunate thing, it has really long load times. It's like 40 or 50 seconds to get into a single map. So that's a bit annoying, but it's still a nice, collector's piece. I think I paid like $5 for this on eBay. So yeah, it's cool. I do have the Dreamcast one as well, which has its own strengths, the short load times in it, but the PS2 version definitely has better graphics. It's less dumbed down than the Dreamcast version. Better frame rate too. It hits 60 frames a second. And here's one this is the one I was waiting for today to do this video. That's Shadow of Rome, a Capcom kind of fighting game, adventure game, stealth game mashup, and it has a lot of the elements that were later used in the Dead Rising series. I looked at a couple videos, and it has like some of the exact same animations for some of the hand-to-hand moves, the wrestling style moves, the way you pick up weapons. I think the weapons break kind of like Dead Rising, and yeah, I think it was kind of a testing ground for Dead Rising. It has a lot of gore. Obviously, the Roman setting is really cool. So this is one I'm really looking forward to playing. So I'm definitely going to be playing it tonight after I finish this video. So yeah, cool Capcom game. I've got a lot of the PS2 Capcom games now. Stuff like Chaos Legion, Devil May Cry, Onimusha, the Maximo series. So I kind of want to get the Mega Man X, I think X9, or no, what is it? No, it's X7 and X8, I think, on PS2. Still want to get those, even though they're kind of weak, and they're on the newer Legacy collection. So I'm honestly thinking of just getting those PS2 Mega Man X games on the actual PS2. But yeah, another cool Capcom PS2 game from the golden era. So, and here's another random Goodwill find. I wasn't really sure if I should buy this, but then I remembered that the PS2 version of Splinter Cell has an extra mission in it, not in any other version. Well, they say 4 levels, but it's a single mission with 4 levels in it. And it's kind of interesting to see the PS2 version of Splinter Cell. They had to dumb it down quite a bit compared to Xbox, but I kind of, at this, like back in the day, I wouldn't have bought the downgraded version if I didn't have to. But nowadays, it's interesting to see how they ported more demanding games onto less powerful hardware. So I got it for that novelty. It was a $4 game, so I think it's in decent condition too. Let me see here. Yeah, just a couple light scratches. So yeah, I played a little bit, and it's not that bad now. Like, I don't know, I don't look back at those graphics as that great anymore, so this version being downgraded is not that bad to me anymore. And it's got the exclusive level and kind of some tweaks to the gameplay mechanics compared to Xbox. Then I got this as well because I wanted a physical console version of Unreal Tournament. Although there's also the Dreamcast version, but each version is a toss-up as far as what features they have. I think the Dreamcast version has a couple exclusive levels, and their performance is kind of different. PS2 has some better graphics, and then Dreamcast has, I believe, better texture filtering or something like that. But I just went with the PS2 version. I'm not sure why. Probably because it's cheaper, but unfortunately, this version is missing the Morpheus level from the PC Unreal 99. But the Dreamcast has the Morpheus level, so that's kind of unfortunate. But I guess it runs really terrible on Dreamcast in that level and other certain levels. But then again, so does this version. It's got some bad slowdown as well. But you can actually use a USB mouse and keyboard on this as well, just like Half-Life and just like Deus Ex on PS2. You can also use mouse and keyboard. So yeah, I figured I'd clean up my Unreal Tournament console collection. I have Unreal Tournament 3 on PS3, yeah. But yeah, that's that. And the last game is yet another Unreal game. This is Unreal Championship, the first one on Xbox. And I believe this is a port of Unreal Tournament 2003. So not the better and more complete Unreal Tournament 2004. But this does have a few exclusive game modes, which supposedly aren't that great. But I figured I'd just get it. I think this was literally cost me like $1 or $2 on eBay. So I figured I'd grab it. This was pretty popular during the Xbox Originals heyday. And I did rent it once, but I didn't get that into it. But now, I have all the console Unreal games, I believe. Except maybe the Xbox 360 Unreal Tournament 3, but I don't see much point in getting that. But yeah, I also have Unreal Championship 2 on Xbox, which is kind of weird. It's a decent game, but it's a lot different from the normal Unreal Tournament games. It's third person, and I don't know, it just has a different focus. It's like smaller battles and stuff like that. But yeah, that is all of my pickups. So yeah, definitely going to have some more pickups in the next couple months, but it might only be like 4 games unless I go nuts again and clean up my wish list some more. But yeah, it might only be like 4 games at the most. But yeah, hope you enjoy these type of videos. I know I've been doing a lot of workout videos, but yeah, I've been waiting to get a good selection of games here to show you guys. So anyways, that's it for me, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.